Hi guys, this is about the next topic, menus in module 5. So the menus are the options that can be linked with the mouse button, and one of the options can be selected. In turn, it will be made to return one integral value to the program, and based upon that integer value we can uh, obtain the required process related to the option. So in this case, the steps involved in using the menus, the first one is we are supposed to define the entries in the menu. Then we are supposed to link the menu to a particular mouse button. So any number of entries can be added into the menu, and everything all together can be linked with one of the mouse buttons. Default is the right button. And then we are going to define the callback function, which is nothing but your mouse function, and will be called by glut mouse func method. So in this case, this is one sample given with respect to increase or decrease of the square size. So here three options are there: quit, increase and decrease options, each returning 1, 2 and 3 respectively. The function used to create a menu is glut create menu, and it has to be given with the name, that is demo menu, or any name you can give that will be set as a name for the menu internally. Then glut add menu entry is used to add the entry into the menu list, and attach menu is used to attach the entire menu setup to a particular mouse button, which is right button in this case. This is a sample given in order to process the given input from the menu. If it is 1 means it is written by the quit option. If it is 1, it is going to execute. 2 is for increase, 3 is for decrease. If it is equal to 2, it's going to double the size of the square. If it is greater than 1, that is if the size is greater than 1, like greater than 1 unit, then only it's going to decrease the size by half. So this program is to increase the size by double and decrease the size by half. The glut post display will be displaying the updated values of the square. And this is hierarchical menu, where we are going to create a sub menu, that is resize, and sub menu will be having both the options, that is for increase and decrease. So in order to create this menu, we should be ready with the sub menu. So the first step involved in the menu creation is to generate the sub menu first and then link it with the main menu. So that's what happens here. We are going to create called as something sub menu, and whatever return value is there, glut create menu of size menu, it will be assigned to sub menu. What will be the return value means everything that is designed for creating this menu. So create menu, size menu, same function is used here, and in this case we are using add menu entry as usual to add 2 of the entries. And then again one more function, glut create menu with the top menu, where as usual again we are going to make use of the same function, glut add menu entry quit comma 1. Whereas in order to add the sub menu that has been created in the previous steps, we are going to supply the name of the sub menu to the attach menu function. So here to the sub menu function. So glut add sub menu function is going to take first parameter as name, and the second parameter will be name of the submenu that has been created. So overall the add menu entry takes 2 parameters, that is name of the entry and the identifier, and add submenu will take 2 parameters, name of the entry and again the name of the submenu that has been created, and the last statement will be for attaching the menu. And one of the available other type of representation is using the graphical devices like a scroll bar or zoom bar, you can tell, and they will be created using the basic primitives like rectangle in this case. Picking is nothing but picking the part of the graphic that has been defined in terms of the objects that are actually created with the help of the program. And here in this case we'll be having a selection procedure as well. The selection procedure also will select the portion of the defined graphic based upon the clipping region that we have created, and bounding rectangles will take the bounding value from the input device itself, that is min and max value, and like how you try to crop a particular image with the instant value for minimum and maximum range of the clipping region. So picking is just picking the object defined. Selection will be selecting a portion of the that is display depending upon the defined clipping region, and this will be taking the clipping region dynamically. And here we come across the back buffer. So usually we will be having, in the case of single buffer, only the front buffer. If we are making use of back buffer in order to make any changes with respect to the display, we are going to make use of two buffer, front and back buffer. Back buffer will be used to calculate that is hold the calculated values, whereas the front buffer is the one which holds the values to be displayed on the display. So in this case, when we are picking or selecting or using the bounding rectangle, it is going to extract the portion of the graphic display. So with the help of the input that we are going to give, either through the input device, that is mouse, or any other input device like light pen, it's going to store the value of x and y. Based upon that, it is going to extract the portion of the graphic and store it into the back buffer, from which it is copied to the front buffer and hence rendered to the uh, front screen, that is your window. So picking can be performed using 4 steps, that is, these are the 4 steps involved in the picking procedure. The first one is draw the objects into the back buffer with the pick colors. It is nothing but wherever I am going to click, what colors are defined, those will be actually defined into the back buffer again. And then again, obtaining the value will be from the mouse, and with the help of the mouse callback function, we are going to extract the value of x and y. Then we use the function, that is gl read pixel, in order to find the colors with respect to the position that has been selected, but in terms of the frame buffer data. And then again, last step will be searching the table of colors in order to obtain what set of pixels that has to be picked. Then you have selection mode. In this case, as I told you, selection mode is going to make use of some defined clipping region. So in this case, we'll be clicking at a particular position, it's going to select that portion from the displayed graphic, and then again it's going to copy the data to the back buffer and will be copied to the front buffer, and then it is going to render it on the display window. So it's going to make use of GL render mode, which takes 3 parameters. 3 types of parameters. GL render is not just nothing but it's going to just extract those portions of the image and display directly without any signals from the programmer or the program. Then GL feedback, it is just going to store the values that has been selected as a data from the graphic, whereas in the GL selection, it's specifically going to create a list. So every portion of the graphic that has been selected will be called as a hit, and that will be stored in name stack. How many times you are going to select, those many data will be stored into the name stack. So overall, they are going to be called as the hit list. So now here in the selection mode, we are going to extract every primitive that has been actually selected by the selection procedure, and every portion is called as the hit, and they will be stored in the buffer called as the name stack. So we'll be making use of GL select buffer in order to perform this. We are going to store the data into the extract the data, or what you say as hit list, and they will be stored in the name stack with the help of GL select buffer. That is going to make use of 4 functions. One is initializing the name stack, what is the name stack, and then again what is the size of the name stack. We'll be making use of push and pop functions for this, and then again we'll be manipulating the top of the entry in the stack in order to make certain transformations to the data, and all the information that is stored is called as the hit list. So in this case, this function is used in order to select the array that has to be used in order to store these particular names. And the certain functions that are available are a GL select buffer, which represents the size and the name of the buffer. Then GL init names, it is with respect to the names that has to be extracted from the graphic. Then again you have push name and pop name functions, it is with respect to manipulating this given set of names or hit list. And then again we have load name, it is going to extract the given name, whatever object you are going to select, that object will be extracted.